Hey pilots, host here for DFWFPV, and today I am taking all of this crap and making it into something magical. So today we're going to be going through and at least starting our build of the Quadmula. I'm not saying it again because everybody else says it multiple times. This thing, the Siren F5 Split. All right, let's go to the punch. Let's check out what the parts are. Let's go over it. So here we have the Quadmula Siren F5 Split frame. I'm super excited about actually building this thing, and also there's a whole collection of all the extra doodads and fun stuff that they included with this as well. So you know, mad props to them. So they got a lot of options there. All right, let's go ahead and do an unboxing of the Quadmula Siren F5 Split frame. There we go. All right, so that's what I was looking at doing. So here's what you get in the container for the Quadmula Siren F5 Split frame. Empty. Let's see what we got. Ooh. All right, battery pad. We got some straps. It's pretty smooth on that strap. I'm not completely sure if I'd want to throw my battery in that. I do have a bunch of these from RDQ that I plan on throwing on there as well. So I like these. They have a little bit of the grip tape on it. Grip tape, it's like a plastic. So I like those a little bit better. So these are going to get set aside. And all right, let's go before we dig into the arms. So we have all of our standoffs. I love the fact that they are all actually labeled with their size. So awesome, Quadmula, thank you. Screws, HSA stack screw, and it has a little bit of tubing in there, so that's to do a little bit of the vibration mounting. More screws. They do actually label all these, but let's see here. Bottom plate, they label this one. Nope. You label that one. Nope. So that's cool. Backup package, so just extra parts. Awesome. I dig it. I like it. And then these are the actual standoffs that will go into any of the TPU parts. So these actually get placed within the holes here, which is awesome. All right, battery pack. This is another thing that Quadmula is kind of known for. They send 2 capacitors, including a TPU part to actually hold the capacitors on there as well. And actually, those are beefy capacitors. I didn't realize how large they'd be. So 35 volt. Okay, cool. So I dig the packaging there. The smaller bag. What do we got here? All right, so this is one of the camera mounting pieces, and I think these are the rest of our camera plates. Okay, so we have our 2 camera mount plates here. One that has a little bit of the cutout, or one side has a little bit of a cutout. Maybe you'll be able to see that. Yep. That way you can put different size cameras in there. So I think that's our locking plate, and then this is for the actual camera plates here that we will eventually build and put on the front. I can get that thing in there. All right, so we'll set those aside. Awesome. Let's get to the important stuff, right? All right, so here we have our bottom plate with the inset bolts and everything else we need on there. Sweet. Top plate. Split deck design I'm a fan of, mainly from the experience that I have with the Apex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I could have swore I ordered an additional arm. Let's see, do I have it in here? You know what? I do not see an additional arm in here. I wonder if I put it somewhere else. Yeah, I thought I ordered another arm, so I will have to probably email about them, or just really hope that this carbon fiber is thick enough that I don't really have an issue with breaking these things for a while. Looks like 5mm. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that my Nazgul here is 5. And this is pretty much matching up damn near perfect to that. So just like iFlight, 5mm carbon. All right, so one thing that I'm figuring out really quickly here is that there are no instructions. So like nothing else came in here unless it just says, hey, go to the website. So like, I get it, everything is online, everything is the internet these days, but man, I'm old. I'm still one of those people that wants to have something printed out so I can actually follow the steps in person here. So yeah, it's a little bit bummer that I have to rely primarily on like YouTube videos to follow along with the builds here. All right, so the other thing is I've been told that before you actually want to get building this, you want to make sure that the carbon is good, that there's no bends or anything else in it, and you have to make sure that it wasn't pre-salted. So okay, not bad. Make some room. Don't need that arm, don't need that arm. And we have our locking plate here. We're going to put the longer M2 screws here, right through this bad boy. I'm going to leave a little bit of room, so I'm not going to screw them all the way, just most of the way. I don't think there's a difference in which way this locking plate goes. There's a difference on a top versus a bottom, and you can tell because of the like chamfered screw areas here. But I don't think it matters which direction to put these guys. I guess if it does matter and I did it wrong, we will find out later. All right, so I have a few turns still left in them. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit later. One really important thing to note here is make sure that you use the medium pan head screw and not the larger ones that go there, because if you put the larger ones in there while you're recording a video, you'll have to edit it and like undo everything, and yeah, we don't have to talk about it. All right, so now we take the medium screw, not the longer one, and we thread it into these 4 inner areas here. And again, I'm not tightening anything down yet. I'm so excited because there really isn't a whole lot to this build. I mean, so far, for the most part, it is pretty straightforward here. All right, so now we got the bottom plate on there. We got a little bit of wiggle room on both sides. That'll make it easier to get the arms in. All right. All right, now it is time to work on the arms. So we'll go ahead and get these kind of laid out where they're gonna go. And we'll get ready to get these things popped in here. Right? This is essentially the layout that we're going to go with. That does not seem like enough room, does it? There we go. I just had to pull it out a little bit. Okay. There we go. Opposite sides, opposite sides. There we go. There we go. Almost looking like a quad. Almost. Might have to loosen those up quite a bit, actually. Okay. One more. If we got to loosen that guy up a little bit. No, that one slid in pretty well, actually. Look at that. Starting to get our arms locked in there. All right, now those longer panhead screws that I was talking about before, this is where we'll actually start using these guys. Okay. And get everything kind of in. Then we'll start screwing everything in to lock it in. All right, so still only going a few threads through, and here we have our last one to lock our last arm. And after this, I think we can start screwing everything else down and locking it down. All right, now that we at least have the arms kind of in place, we're going to lock all of those screws down much further. Well, actually all the way. The shorter standoffs are going to go on these screws right here. All right, let's take a look at our standoffs. Where are our standoffs? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All right, so now that we got those standoffs on there, we will go through. We already tightened these outside guys. Go ahead and tighten these inside ones.
I'm sick with excitement. You can see so violent. Fire in your eyes. I feel like you ain't right here. Nothing that you like here. I know you were keen to cut the ties. There's fire in your eyes. 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 Fire in your eyes.
All right, so now we have the front chin to take care of and the camera plate. So camera plate is going to sit up front. Again, I don't think there's a top or a bottom to it. It's going to sit like this. That the side plates will then lock in there. But also, since we have the TPU for this, we're going to go ahead and open that up. Trying to figure out the best way to get them pushed in there, though. It's not the easiest to push in. You need to go find a tool to get that done. All right, I'm back, and we'll see if we can use this to try to push it in there a little bit, because it is not it's not being polite. This one doesn't really want to go either. Oh, there we go. Maybe. All right. Took a little bit of coaxing, but here we go. All right. Long standoffs. Not a whole lot of thread there, though. Yeah. These are the 25 standoffs. 25. So now that we got that, we will pop our camera plates in. Now I'm going to be running the Natto 90, so I'm going to need inserts anyway. The cool thing is, like I was pointing out, is you have the mill section here. So this is one side, and then you can see the difference here, right? Mill dot will get you a little bit more room. I'm running the HU090, and so I'm going to need spacers anyway. So right now I'm just going to throw some in there anyway. All right, plates are on. Then we have the back two standoffs. And our camera plates fell off. That's expected. All right, next up is stack screws. Let's go ahead and prep these guys. So we have a little bit of O-rings, a little bit of separation. Oh. Next up, we got the tubing here, so we'll need our cutters. The tubing is going to go over the M2 screws here. Kind of a little bit of a tight fit there, actually. A little bit surprised at how much of a tighter fit it is than I expected. But if you push it from the top, it helps kind of squeeze it down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to try and cut it almost like stripping a wire on the top couple threads. We'll see if that works. Out screwing up the threads of the screw. There we go. All right, so that's how I did that. All right. Once those are done, we can take these green caps. We do have our antenna holder back here. All right, so next up is the top plate, but apparently I had it on upside down because there is a top side with the recessed holes here. Now, something interesting about these inserts and this mount and everything, for almost all my builds, I use TPU mounts from Brain 3D. So brain3d.co. It's not sponsored here, but anyway, I emailed them at the beginning of April and I said, hey, I'm getting this frame. I really want some of your mounts for it. What do you got? They didn't have anything on their site at the beginning of April, but they said that they had a frame on the way and they were planning on making some prints specifically for this frame. So awesome. If it's not out there by the time you're watching this, then keep an eye out for them to come. Brain3d.co. All the good stuff there. All right, let's go ahead and get these things pressed in here. Okay, so that was a lot easier. I didn't have to use the tool to press that one. Ooh. Ooh. Poor thumb. Ah. All right, this one I'm going to because my thumb hurts now. Go. All right, well, there you go. Here is the Quadmula Siren F5 Split frame. So overall, really good build. Pretty straightforward for the most part. I'm really excited to get the actual stack in here and get everything wired up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this thing a lot. I do plan to be beating the heck out of this thing, so it will see many walls. And we'll see how it handles that over time, because I'll be giving updates. So yeah, I think that's about all I got. If you want to see the rest of this build, stay tuned. Check out DFWFPV.club. From there, you can see our calendar of events, and you can see other stuff that we got going on in the news section. Also get to the links to get to our YouTube channel, our Discord for chats, and Discord is also what we use for our sim nights. Sim nights are second Friday of every month. We get into a various sim and we have a good time in chat and everything. And then, of course, the last Sunday of every month, we have our meet, which is generally at a different location within DFW. This month is April 30th, 2023, and we are doing it at the bridges near the Market Hunt Bridge on the Trinity River. So we'll be there about 9 a.m. on April 30th. So come check it out. Appreciate it. All right. See you guys. Thanks. Bye.